Hello, welcome to this third video here. In this video, hopefully a short one, I'm going to prepare this mini plug for soldering. It's already been used, so this video is extra for those of you that have a new plug, but many of my students often mess this up and have to do it twice, so I need to show how to undo soldering. So I've got the plug here. I'm going to cut off the cable. Usually I leave a little bit on there. It makes it actually easier to pull it out in a second. And I'm going to cut the other I'm going to cut, well, sometimes it's easier to just kind of get desolder. Here I have zoomed in to kind of see what's going on in here. You've got the 3 conductors there, and first thing I'm going to do is desolder, which I've already done on this first connector here, but add some solder to your iron so it's smoking, and remove the hot and cold connectors from the connector. Pull them back a little bit. Underneath on the bottom, we've got a larger wire there. That's the sleeve. In this particular cable, it was connected to a shield, which has more size. So again, I'm going to add solder to my iron and get it smoking. Every time you desolder something, always use fresh solder. I'm going to try to bend this back. You're basically just trying to get rid of the cable. I'm melting the shield on the bottom. Hopefully get some success here. And oftentimes I'll just pull out the rubber, like pull out the jacket like that. So I have cleaned off, hopefully without destroying it, the connector. Hold on, back in camera. Whoop, it's out of focus. Let me hit the focus button here. You can see it a little bit better, hopefully. Now the next step is, you can see that it's been clamped down here, and I need to bend out those clamps. This is my first time using a camera to do this by myself, and it's a little bit complicated. Seems like that's about the sweet spot. Let me get this out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two sets of pliers at once. This is going to hold it like that, and I'm going to attempt to bend out without breaking it. Bend out these little we're going to switch pliers again, and I'm going to hold it down at the bottom where I've got more control over it, and I'm going to attempt to bend out. Oof. Sorry, I got off camera there, but I did get it bent. You can see now that I bent out. I took the pliers and I bent these out. So probably want to desolder a little bit of the solder off the connector before we're done with it. So as with all this desoldering, you're going to add a little solder to your iron when you take away solder. I use a solder sucker, a solder pump, desolder it. And I'm going to go on there in the little tabs there and liquid it. Melt it and kind of clean off. There's little holes here on these pins that let you put the wire through, and I want to get the previous solder off these pins so I can run it through. And some of the solder here on the sleeve here, I'm also in a situation I need to add some solder to get the solder to melt. And with fresh solder on there, fresh flux, the rest of the solder melts, and I can clean it off a little bit. And then we have a connector, which is, as I said a moment ago, kind of ugly. Definitely not my preferred way to start with a, but it is at least ready to go. You can see the little holes there, so I can connect the wires through. So hopefully you're starting with a fresh connector, but if you didn't and you had to redo this, that's the process for cleaning a mini plug. Pretty much the same process with a 1/4 inch jack. Just a little bit more fragile here with the mini plug. All right, I hope this helps. Bye-bye.